Straight ahead on CCX News, a local effort to spread a message about opioids and why the drug that's meant to fight pain has become so dangerous. Plus,
if you have a love for hockey, we're going to get you on the ice, and we're going to make it happen.
The best of the best in sled hockey play this weekend in Plymouth, and how a good Samaritan stepped in to save a life on 394. CCX News starts right now. Hello everyone and thanks for joining us. The number of opioid-related deaths in Minnesota has steadily increased over the past decade.
It is a problem that can start when people become addicted to prescription painkillers. A former Brooklyn Center mayor is working to raise awareness about the problem. Delane Cleveland joins us now with more.
Mike and Alex, Myrna Cragness served as Brooklyn Center's mayor for 12 years, but she was also a foster parent to more than 50 teenage girls over a 25-year period. So she knows what people in that age group can be exposed to. These days, Cragness is part of an FBI Citizens Academy. The FBI helped produce a documentary on the dangers of opioid addiction, and she wants to make sure people see the film and know the seriousness of the issue.
I'm still dedicated to the city. Being the mayor for a long time, I think it's important that we take this to the schools so the kids see it and their parents come in to see it too, so they understand how terrible this thing is, and we just don't want to get our kids involved in this.
The documentary is called Chasing the Dragon, the Life of an Opiate Addict. It's a 50-minute film featuring current and former addicts as well as parents who have lost their children to drug overdoses. There will be a free screening of the movie Monday night at Brooklyn Center High School, and Cragness hopes everyone can attend.
And one drug leads to another, and pretty soon we're attending a funeral for someone we love. And if we can change it in any way, just an idea, or so people are aware of this was what could happen to me, I think it's so important.
The screening begins at 6:30 p.m. Monday at Brooklyn Center High School. Afterwards, there will be a panel discussion featuring a doctor from North Memorial, local lawmakers, and Brooklyn Center Police Chief Tim Gannon. Mike?
All right, thank you, Delane. A new chapter for the Plymouth Historical Society will start in 2018. Historical Society members will continue to volunteer and provide their historical knowledge, but the city will take over management and general operations in a partnership. The Historical Society had asked for help, saying their members were getting older and they could no longer function as they had before, but officials want to make sure the work continues.
History is our story, right? So, you know, to be able to share the story of Plymouth, where we came from, how we are today, and also be able to touch on, you know, what we're currently doing and add to that, those stories and those memories. I think it's a good tool and a good avenue for us just to be able to, again, conceptualize what Plymouth is, what it's been, what it's going to, what it has the potential to be.
A part-time worker will be hired to work with volunteers and run the program.
A Twin Cities mom says her daughter would not be alive today if not for the heroic actions of a Good Samaritan and a state trooper. Kristen Lonsbury was driving on 394 near Highway 100 in September when her 6-week-old daughter Elise started choking. That's when another driver and a state trooper stopped. Virginia Marsh is a nurse who took action when she saw the baby was not breathing.
That's when I turned her over and just started doing the back blows, and pretty soon into that she opened her eyes and took breaths. They didn't have to stop. Neither of you did. And I don't know that we would have her if they didn't. So.
Lonsbury says others slowed down but did not stop. By the way, baby Elise has a new middle name. It's Virginia, after that nurse who stopped to help.
The weather has cooled off, but not all road construction is done yet. It will be tough if you're traveling from Brooklyn Park to the north on Highway 169. Motorists can expect major backups this weekend as Highway 169 is reduced to one lane in each direction. Crews are installing storm sewer pipe under the highway and getting ready for a bigger project next summer when bridges are replaced over Elm Creek. Elsewhere, look for speeds to climb, and it's legal. MnDOT has raised the speed limit along much of Highway 169 in the Twin Cities metro area from 55 miles an hour to 60. State lawmakers asked MnDOT to look at two-lane highways where speeds could safely be increased. And here in the Northwest Metro, that includes a section between I-494 and 109th Avenue.
There were plenty of smiling faces at Fair Oaks Elementary School as kids lined up for free bicycles. 250 youngsters rolled out on their own set of wheels Thursday night thanks to a group called Free Bikes for Kids. Volunteers were on hand to make sure that each bike fits the child properly. They collected more than 9,000 used bikes this fall. Then dozens of volunteers spend time refurbishing them and getting them into the hands of kids who need them.
In October, we do the collection, and then for 2 months, we need volunteers. We run solely on volunteers, so we need volunteers to help us clean the bikes and refurbish the bikes so they're ready for the giveaways, which all of our giveaways are, we're done fixing bikes by December 15th.
Tia Martinson says they had 11,000 requests this year for the 9,000 bikes that they collected.
Well, the generosity of students at St. Raphael's Catholic School in Crystal surprised even their teachers.
I've just been in awe of these students and how motivated they are to help each other out. We have a saying here called family. Forget about me, I love you. And these students take that to the next level.
The tradition of a holiday food drive by the school students usually collects between 400 and 600 items. This year, the Student Council set a goal of 1,000 food items in 15 days. But in the end, more than 2,700 items were collected. 11-year-old Jacob Duran brought in 300 items himself to represent the 6th grade in a competition for a pizza party.
I brought in another 150. Yeah, and after that, I'm like, it doesn't matter if we lose because it's just for the people, so they don't get hungry.
Well, actually, it was the 3rd graders that won the pizza party, but everyone wins because the food will go to the near food shelf in Crystal. And the whole school gets an extra hour of recess for the effort. Still ahead on CCX News, some of the top sled hockey athletes are on the ice this weekend in Plymouth.
Plus, a couple of local girls teams light up the scoreboard in impressive wins. But first, a soggy evening turning drier on Saturday. We'll be right back. Some of the best sled hockey athletes in North America are on the ice this weekend in Plymouth.
Yeah, the 2017 USA Sled Hockey Championship started Friday morning, and reporter Shannon Slatton explains the can-do attitude that you will see this weekend at the Plymouth Ice Center.
This is an elite sport at the very top level. They make it look easy.
If you haven't seen sled hockey, come to Plymouth this weekend to check out the best in the sport. The record-breaking 28 teams, each affiliated with an NHL team, are a far cry from the only 4 teams that played in the tournament when it started in 2010.
It's grown and it's gotten bigger and bigger and bigger each year.
The winning team has their name engraved on a new trophy, named for a volunteer and advocate who pushed to make hockey more inclusive.
Somebody with a disability that you think might want to play hockey, come out and check out sled hockey. If there's a will, there's a way, and if you want to play hockey, we'll find a way to make it happen.
That can-do attitude is present all around the rink this weekend in Plymouth.
At the end of the day, these aren't disabled hockey players, these are hockey players. And sled hockey is just their venue for getting on the ice.
Each player has a story, including Aaron Holm, who plays center for the Minnesota Wild sled hockey team.
When I was injured, lost my legs, I looked for an outlet, looked for an opportunity to get the physicality, the competitiveness, the smells and the sounds are the same. It's just a little different way to play it.
He says it was hard at first, but like anything else, he got better with practice.
The only advantage to losing your legs is you're a little speedy when you're playing sled hockey. So I'm quick, which is a disadvantage because you're usually the first guy in the corner, and the corners hurt sometimes.
The Wild was slow to start in their opening game against Detroit.
We finally shook the cobwebs out going into the 3rd, and we picked up 3 goals.
They won their first game, and the athletes look forward to playing not just for a trophy, but because they love being on the ice.
If you have a love for hockey, we're going to get you on the ice, and we're going to make it happen.
In Plymouth, Shannon Slatton, CCX News.
And that tournament continues Saturday and Sunday until noon at the Plymouth Ice Center, and admission is free. Well, up next, she is practically perfect. We'll check in on Wayzata's Mary Poppins in our weekend showcase.
But first, Maple Grove runs out of miracle comebacks as they battle against a very good Eden Prairie team in the state football semifinals. John Jacobson is in next.
I'm John Jacobson with sports. Despite a couple of close games over the past half dozen years, Maple Grove has not been able to beat Eden Prairie in football. Crimson were hoping for a different outcome when the teams met in the Class 6A semifinals Thursday night at US Bank Stadium. First quarter, the Eagles end this drive with a 37-yard field goal by Antonio Montero. Eden Prairie leads 3-0 after one quarter. Maple Grove moves the ball pretty well in the first half on the ground and through the air. Curtis Haugen to Evan Hull. A 9-yard gain gets the Crimson inside the EP10. But 2 plays later on fourth down, Hull is stopped short on his rush. Eagles defense turns the Crimson away without any points. Maple Grove's defense is solid too for most of the first half. But check out the run coming up here by DJ Johnson of Eden Prairie. Takes the pitch, seemingly stopped. He comes back to his right. He'll run out of his shoe at the 20-yard line. And he is loose down the sideline. Johnson runs this one 67 yards all the way down to near the Maple Grove 10-yard line. Sets up another Montero field goal. It's 6-0 Eagles at halftime. In the second half, Eden Prairie really starts to control the line of scrimmage. Montero up the middle for a 9-yard touchdown. That makes it 13-0 Eden Prairie. The Eagles add 2 more touchdowns in the fourth quarter, including one on a pass from Cole Kramer to Jack Tuttle. 20-yard score. Makes the final 26-0, ending Maple Grove's season with an 8-4 record.
I'm very proud of our kids. I think this team had a schedule where they played 6 of the 8 teams that were in the final 8, and we had a lot of guys playing both ways, and I mean, we have guys in shoulder braces and strapped up, and they've put every ounce of what they can into this, and in the rigor they've been put through, I'm unbelievably proud. This has been a very special year. I wish for them they don't want a championship, but they're champions in many ways.
The girls' hockey season is underway. After an opening game loss, Wayzata looked to bounce back. The Trojans hosting St. Cloud and Coon Rapids. Plymouth Ice Center in use for that sled hockey tournament. Wayzata strikes early in this one. Sophie Urban sets up Alexa Osseo for a goal here. Just 2:27 into the game. Greta Branton from behind the net to Sarah Adalan for the backhander for a goal, and a 2-0 Trojans lead. Just 22 seconds later, Chloe Fallon with a shot. Lucy Hansen chips the rebound over the goalie and in, and it's 3-0 Wayzata. Coach Jess Christopherson's team isn't done. Branton takes the pass, walks into the circle, and scores a power play goal. Wayzata leads 4-0 after one. They breeze to a 6-0 win over St. Cloud. The Trojans are now 1-1. The Hopkins St. Louis Park Co-op in girls hockey has a new uniform and new logo to better represent both schools. And they played an outdoor game at St. Louis Park Rec Center against Bloomington Jefferson. Kylie Hanley, one of the metro area's best, and she shows why here, zipping through the defense to score. First of 2 for Hanley on the night. It's 1-0 Hopkins Park. In the second period, HP is buzzing again. The Mary O'Neill shot deflected on goal. Hanley fires from the slot. Mary Gleason's there to tuck the rebound in. That made it 3-0 Hopkins Park after 2. Fire to warm up the fans. Third period, Erin Brousseau keeps it herself on the 2-on-1. Her shot stopped, but then scores on the rebound for a 4-0 lead. Hopkins Park wins this one 5-0 over Jefferson. They're now 3-1 on the season. In addition to the state football playoffs continuing at US Bank Stadium through Saturday, there are 2 other state tournaments this weekend. The state adapted floor hockey tournament is Friday and Saturday at Stillwater High School, while the state girls swimming and diving meet is underway and continues through Saturday night at the U of M Aquatic Center. That's all for sports. Mike and Alex, back to you.
All right, thanks a lot, John. Up next, an on-stage favorite.
Our weekend showcase features Wayzata's production of Mary Poppins. We'll be right back. at the Fair School in Crystal can add ballroom dance to the list of skills they're developing. Fifth graders took to the tango after completing a 10-week residency of dance classes through the Heart of Dance program. Teaching artists from New York have been working with the school's fifth graders on ballroom dance steps that serve the greater purpose of teaching respect, teamwork, and elegance.
Dancing is about interpersonal relationships, it's about safe touch, it's about gender respect, it's about multicultural respect. That's what they're learning.
Students also learn the waltz, merengue, foxtrot, and other ballroom dances in the residency program. Everyone's favorite nanny makes an appearance in Wayzata High School's latest onstage production.
In our weekend showcase, Neil Persley checks out Mary Poppins.
Wayzata High School's production of Mary Poppins is one big jolly holiday.
This is definitely the biggest undertaking I've taken on. We have 51 kids in the cast, about 15 in the orchestra, 20 working in various areas of crew.
The production itself is big and very complex.
We have a 16-foot tall Victorian house on stage. That dollhouses open and close. We go all over London. We have Mary flying, Bert flying.
But sitting in the audience, you'll never realize all the moving parts because the technical crew does such a beautiful job making it look easy.
Chim chim on a chim chim, chari chim charu.
Alexander Deniston plays Bert.
One of the aspects of Bert is the Cockney accent. So I watched a lot of videos of Cockney accents and everything. And I kind of copied a bit of what Dick Van Dyke did with Bert. Kind of some of the big characterization of it. Big arm movements and leg movements, kind of stuff like that.
You must be kind, you must be wit, very sweet and fairly pretty.
Katie Manderfeld plays Jane Banks.
Through the help of Mary Poppins, Jane Banks kind of figures out right and wrong and figures out who she is and how to behave and just overall becomes a more behaved and better person.
Yes, Mary Poppins, you are. And that's why I give this Wayzata High School's production of Mary Poppins a rating of PP for a weekend showcase from Wayzata High School in Plymouth, Neil Persley, CCX News.
Mary Poppins is on stage at Wayzata High School tonight through Saturday night at 7 p.m. with a 1 o'clock matinee on Saturday. Tickets are $10 for students and $15 for adults, and you can purchase them online or at the door. That'll do it. That's it for now. Thanks so much for joining us, everyone.
We will see you back here on Monday. Have a great weekend.